Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Newfie Steve, back at it again, playing Diablo 4. I'm going to show you guys my minion necromancer build. It's mostly pure minions, and I'm going to show you how strong it is. This is one of the hardest hitting minion builds I've seen yet, so I'm looking forward to Season 4 release date. I'm wondering how much the Season 4 theme will change this build, but as of right now, this build would be able to push tier 200. I'm currently doing that. I'm at like tier 120 or something, but I'm going to show you guys how hard it hits on the target dummy, and we'll take it step by step and we'll go from there. So let's dive in. So as you can see, it's hitting upwards, a lot of 3 millions, 3.3s. I've seen some skellies hit for 4 million. It do happen. It's pretty rare, but it do happen. I will say the whole point of this build is to keep using your raised skeleton. What this is going to do is, I'll dive into it a bit more later, but it's going to proc this for your skeletal priests, also empower you for 69%, perfect to 70%. So as long as you're using raised skeleton, you'll keep proccing this. Also, another thing I'm going to dive into a little later, you're also going to be proccing your flesh eater. Every time you consume 5 corpses, you get 40% damage increase. So between that, you're always using corpse tendrils and your raised skeleton. You're always going to have that proc up. It's up 90% of the time. See how quick I got it back up? And that's pretty well the gist of the build. And the reason why we go with corpse explosion, you could use golem, but pretty well at the high end pits, you're going to want to play kind of like an infinimus build, because most things, anything that's tough is going to one-shot you. So the best way to play this is the infinimus style build. Early game you can go with golem, it won't be an issue. You can get up to like tier 100 with golem, no sweat. But after like 100 pluses, you're going to start getting hit hard, and you're going to want to go the infinimus style. So I'm going to quickly go over my setup and go over my skills and Paragon board. For the helmet, as I showed you guys before, we went with the power that your skeletal priests now also empower you at 69%. For the helmet and most items that you wear, you're going to want plus skills to skeleton warrior mastery. So we have it here on the helmet. You also want to go with armor. Like how your defenses work is totally up to you as you're progressing. For the chest piece, we went with you and your minions gain 24% increased damage reduction. So that's just a flat 24% damage reduction right off the bat. Also helps you and your minions, which is great. And as you can see, we have +3 to skeleton warrior mastery. And for the gloves, we went with Grasping Veins, which is gain 25% increased critical strike chance for 6 seconds. When you cast Corpse Tendrils, you deal 50% increased bonus critical strike damage. Now, some people said this did not work for minions. It absolutely do. It's a big damage increase. It was always good for Necros, so we're using this. Also, as you can see, for the gloves, I went with critical strike chance and critical strike damage, and we also put the summoning damage on there, because we are mostly going with skeletal warrior damage. Mages are not our focus. And for the pants, we went with you gain percent armor, but your evade has 100% cooldown. This is just a huge armor increase. And as you can see, we have +2 to skeletal warrior mastery on there as well. For the boots, we just went with the your skeletal mages can cast Blizzard. You could go with anything else if you wanted to. It's totally up to you. It's optional here. And as you can see, we got a pretty good roll. We got +4 to skeletal warrior mastery. Now, for the weapon, this is where a lot of your damage comes from. I got a pretty good weapon, but for the imprint, we went with your minions gain increased damage while alive, up to 74% after 10 seconds. So it's a big minion damage increase, but also got some good rolls. We got 97.5% damage. We got 43.5% attack speed. We got 153% critical strike damage. And on two-handed swords, you also get the +30 critical strike damage up above. And we also got 27.5% minion attack speed. So we're getting a lot of attack speed just from this weapon alone. So your skeletons also get your attack speed. Plus we have minion attack speed. 100% is the cap. And we also got another roll for plus 158% damage. So altogether, we got like 260% damage off this weapon. For the amulet, we went with your maximum number of skeletal warriors and mages increased by 3. This is just to get as many minions as you can possible, because the more minions you have, the more damage that is technically going out. We went with attack speed and critical strike chance on this. You could drop the life and maybe go with Hellbent Commander. It would be even more damage. And we're also using the Ring of Sacrilegious Soul. I got a pretty good one here. Hopefully I got some of this luck when the season goes live. But this is just for while you're blood misting and stuff, and your corpse, it's always keeping your raised skeleton buff up, because it's also using that. It's also using corpse tendrils. It's also using corpse explosion. And the corpse explosion is mainly just for the cooldown reduction from your decrepify, so you can keep casting blood mist. And we also went with the Ring of Mendel. This is just another big damage increase. Gives minion attack speed, lots of minion life, which is just a plus. And every 6 attack from each minion empowered, exploding for 30,000 damage. It's just huge overall. And that's it for the items. Now we're going to dive into my skill tree. You can go with whatever here. You just need 2 points to get down here. We're going to put 3 into Hued Flesh, and I just put a point into Blight just cause. You could also put it in here, doesn't matter. And then we're going to come down here. As you can see, I have 14 points into Skeleton Warrior Mastery. So there's 210% from that. That's damage and life. So these guys like never die. We also put many points as we can into Blood Mist, because it's going to reduce the cooldown on it. And we also went with the Ghastly Blood Mist. Now we just go with Corpse Explosion for the Shadow proc, so we can get our cooldown reduction more. And we put 3 points into Grim Harvest and 3 points into Fueled by Death. This is also proccing when we're casting all our corpse skills, which is huge. Then we're going to come down here. We're going to put 3 into Death's Embrace, 3 into Amplified Damage, and we're going to take Decrepify with the Lucky Hit cooldown reduction. This is just another big damage increase and damage reduction. We're also going to put 3 points into Skeleton Mage Mastery. And then we're going to come down here and put 1 into Corpse Tendrils and 1 into Plague Corpse for the vulnerability. And we're going to put 3 into Necrotic Carapace, because as your minions are creating corpses, which I'll get into later, we're always fortified for the most part. Then we're going to come down here, put 1 point into Army of the Dead, and take these 2 talents here. And we're going to max all these skeleton minions right here. Hellbent Commander is the one for damage. This gives critical strike chance for you and your minions. Your Skeleton Priest just heal more. And this is just armor and resistance for your minions. And we're going to put 1 point into Kalan's Edict. Now for the Paragon board, I'm still reworking this, but this is as it is now. For the first one, we went with Amplify. And then we're going to come up here and take Cult Leader. And then we're going to take Essence. This is critical strike damage. And then for the next one, we're going to come over here, take Scent of Death. And we're going to take Dead Razor. Now, I think the best thing to do would put Dead Razor over here, because I think it's going to empower your glyphs better. And then put Essence over here. So that's something I might have to fool around with after. But we'll continue on. And then we're going to come over and take Flesh Eater. And we're going to take Corporal. And that's pretty well it for the Paragon board. And I'll quickly go over the Book of the Dead. We took Reapers, and we took Reapers have a 15% chance to carve flesh off enemies, forming a corpse. We're always using corpses, so for everything, it's just constantly you're using corpses to get that big buff. So these are the best to have. And for the Shadow Mages, you deal 3% increased damage for each active Shadow Mage. So right now we have 6. So 6 times 3, that's an 18% damage increase. And for the Golem can be good to have. You could also use your Blood Golem, and you can take 30% of your damage your Golem would take for you. But we're not using Golem because we need the Corpse Explosion, so we took him out, and we're going to sacrifice him, and you deal 30% increased critical strike damage. So this is a big damage boost for my minions as well. And that's pretty well it for this build, and we'll have to see what kind of changes will come with the new season theme. We'll see what bugs might be ironed out, or any nerfs or buffs. A lot could change come season 4, so we'll have to wait and see. But that's it for this videos. Hit the subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.